It's a major move right here, baby. I ain't talking fast, it's just you listening slow, you know what I mean?
It's just one of them days when I wanna be all alone. It's just one of them days when I gotta be all alone. It's just one of them days. Don't take it personal. Just wanna be all alone. Think I treat you wrong. I wanna take some time out to think things through. I know it always feels like I'm doing you wrong, but I'm so in love with you. So understand that I'm only in love, you're the only one I need. So have no thought that I want to leave, and baby trust me please. One of them days that a girl goes through when I'm angry inside. Don't wanna take it out on you. Just one of them things. Don't take it personal. I just wanna be all alone. When you think I treat you wrong, don't take it personal. Baby, 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 don't take it personal. I sit and think about everything we do, and I find myself in misery, and that ain't cool. Hey now, I really wanna be with you the whole way through, but the way you make me feel inside keeps me confused. As I swing back, mood to mood, it's not because of you. I never want you to be insecure, so won't you understand that I'm only in love, you're the only one I need. I'll be there for you when you need me, boy, so baby don't you leave. That a girl goes through when I'm angry inside. Don't wanna take it out on you. Just one of them things. Don't take it personal. I just wanna be all alone. When you think I treat you wrong, just one of them days. Just one of them days that a girl goes through when I'm angry inside. I don't wanna take it out on you. Just one of them things. Don't take it personal. I just wanna be all alone. When you think I treat you wrong, don't take it personal. Baby, 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 baby.
Yeah, yeah. Usher Raymond, yeah. Thugger, thugger, yeah. Yeah. Go right up, yeah. Make it say, no limit. Got that masterpiece, no limit, baby. Can get that black card, no limit. Just know when you roll with a nigga like me, there's no limit, baby. Make it say, no limit. I see murder that, no limit, baby. Get that ghetto D, girl, no limit. Just know when you roll with a like me, there's no limit, baby. You know you fine, baby, you know that you fine. I'm just trying to make you mine, trying to make you mine. Yeah, I'm trying to make you mine. Put a tingle in your spine. We got a vibe, we got a way. You should ride on it. All of the places I can take you, girl, is limitless. So if you've never been, girl, I would just love to take you there. You don't have to worry about a thing. I gotta let me show you better than. Cause I may not know you, just let me hold you. You be my soldier, like you from the north. Make it say, no limit. Got that masterpiece, no limit, baby. Can get that black card, no limit. Just know when you roll with it, not looking like me, there's no limit, baby. Make it say, no limit. I see murder that, no limit, baby. Get that ghetto D, girl, no limit. Just know when you roll with it like me, there's no limit, baby. cars on decline, baby, the cars on decline. You roll with me and we shine, baby, we shine. Yeah, little mama, we shine. Just pick a destination. Go ahead, show me you can get like everything. Show me like any car, any house, baby, you can get like any ring, anything. Then I can knock it down. All through the night, all through the day, yeah. I knock that hit so high. Baby, you call the Sugar Ray, yeah. I may not know you, just let me hold you. You be my soldier, like you from the north. Make it say, no limit. Got that masterpiece, no limit, baby. Give you that black car, no limit. Just know when you roll with a nigga like me, there's no limit, baby. Make it say, no limit. I see murder that, no limit, baby. Give you that ghetto D, girl, no limit. Just know when you roll with a nigga like me, there's no limit, baby. You find out that wine, baby girl, I ain't lying. Make my homie drop a dime, commit a crime, jeopardize my lifeline, just to see your vital sign. Ain't no limit, baby, we do it like it. Ain't no limit, baby, when you a starter. Marta outsmart the robber. Build a session with Bacardi Barbies. Kerosene. Promise spin while machine. Same way to prima donna. Never limit, I'm a stunner. Tell it out them never runners. Them boys, they all beginners. Follows in a rank them. I'ma spend my night with them. I can put carrots all over you. Carrots all over you. Never mind me on the private bitch, I been getting high with these. And she said all her friends fake, so she solo rockin'. And she a real bad she ain't gotta Photoshop it. No limit. I see murder that, no limit, baby. Give you that ghetto D, girl, no limit. Just know when you roll with it looking like me, there's no limit.
Right. Oh, Wale.
Yeah, cool kid sneak.
Yeah.
She a couple years younger, but she better than a mother though. Better than a mother though. She got her own, she don't need no ticket. She get it, yeah, she got it, so you know I had to get her. She my NYPYT. She my NYPYT. She my NYPYT. She my pretty young thing, and I do anything for her.
I love you, ay, pretty young thing. You need some loving from a real one. I wanna love you, ay, pretty young thing. Ay, you need some loving, ay, and I'm a real one. Say, hold up, what's up, what it do? I ain't tryna do too much, but come through. Cartier frames too much, but it's cool. The only thing strange, they won't get off you. Say you wanna ride up, well I got a ticket, and later we can hide out. Try and get missing, now I'm all up in your mind now. Cause I get you, but you can't figure mine out. See, I'm quite different, a James Bond with a St. Laurent fetch. And thank God I never had a baby mother either. Snapchat shorty, flash that for me, clap back, that's not for you. Give her 50 feet, fell in love in a week. She penetrating my mind, I penetrate that physique. Cause I would delete, digging her chemistry. No limit to me and she, can give me a kiss on the cheek. Pretty thing,
a couple years younger, but she better than a mother though. Better than a mother though. She got her own, she don't need no ticket. She get it, yeah, she got it, so you know I had to get her. She my NYPYT. She my NYPYT. She my NYPYT. She my pretty young thing, and I do anything for her.
I wanna love you, ay, pretty young thing. You need some loving from a real one. I wanna love you, ay, pretty young thing. You need some loving, and I'm a real one. This one's for you. Hold it, set down. This one's for you. Supposed to get the crown. Pretty young girl. Toast for you and I. I just wanna see you shine. Enough to make a man feel better than a woman. Queen with the crown, but for now it's a burden. There are a few things that's for certain, my lady. We can make war, make babies. I'm a rider and a ticket that comes with good planning and channeling your ambition. I know this fact that properly seemed efficient. He used to move keys, he call it a little different. Another one, work, another one, another one. She put it down on me, I put them numbers up. I love that joke. She 21, no case she old enough to drink, my gotta be my lunch. Stay low on pill with an eye. Coachella chill with an eye. Got colorful lyrics, we twinning. Cause every other color Collie come out with. I get up.
Couple years younger, but she better than a mother though. Better than a mother though. She got her own, she don't need no ticket. She get it, yeah, she got it, so you know I had to get her. She my NYPYT. She my NYPYT. She my NYPYT. She my pretty young thing, and I do anything for
I wanna
her.
love you, ay, pretty young thing. You need some loving from a real one. I wanna love you, ay, pretty young thing. You need some loving, and I'm a real one. Hold up, what's up? What's your name? I should've asked the verse before, don't throw shade. A lot of girls do too much for that fame, but I can get to know you just from your page.
Supreme Justice with Judge Karen.
You give men the permission to treat you poorly.
I'm very passionate about helping people, period.
It doesn't matter what you tell me. What matters is when you by yourself, what you tell you.
You can always turn your life around. If you keep walking, eventually things are going to change.
And obviously what you tell you gets you in a lot of trouble.
Supreme Justice with Judge Karen.
At 12:30 on WADL Detroit.
Hey, this is Ralph Gadley, and I want to take the time to talk about the Word Network's Crown Chair. So many people have shown an interest in the Crown Chair. Our CEO and founder has made it available to you. All you have to do is call 855-730-WORD, and we'll tell you how you can pick it up, or either we'll ship it to you. Get it for your home, your office, even your pastor's study at church. Call 855-730-WORD. That's 855-730-9673. The Word Network's Crown Chair. Get yours today.
We're the hottest station in town. Whatever you need, it's right here on 910 AM Superstation. The most powerful voices in the urban community. The most powerful voices in the African American community are all on the new 910 AM radio superstation. The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media. Hey Detroit, if you're looking for the best shows and the biggest laughs, look no further than WADL Detroit, TV 38. That's right, WADL has all the shows you love and the drama you need. It's shows like Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns.
Morning, folks. Hey, Colonel, where's your insignificant other?
House of Pain and Justice with Judge Maybelline.
What you have to say?
All I have to
Nothing.
WADL Detroit, TV 38. It's entertainment for everyone. WFDF Farmington Hills, Detroit. 910 AM Superstation, a division of Adele Media.
Hey, and what's up? You are listening to 910 AM Superstation. It is Detroit's most powerful voice in the urban community and other parts of the planet as well. We welcome you to Gurl Bye. It is 5 o'clock, so that's what time we come on every Sunday from 5 to 6. And if you want to watch us streaming live, we ask you to go to www.910amsuperstation.com. Follow us on Facebook Live. We will be on there live. Andre Ash is going to make sure that that happens for you. So you're able to get huge segments from the show, you know, live, watching it on Facebook Live as well. And what else do we have? Oh, give us a call at 313-209-9000. That's 313-209-9000. It's 910 a.m. It's your superstation, and we're doing radio our way. So, guys, Phil, TT, Andre Ash, Chocolate Drop Dior. We have had one interesting weekend, most definitely with the visit of presidential candidate Donald Trump coming into the Motor City. And, you know, I found it fascinating that there were so many different points of view, you know, regarding his visit. I just think that it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, but you did. And, I think it was a meaningful visit. I think people got to see some things that were a little bit different and probably a lot different. And then I think one of the things that we need to talk about, Phil, also is that people need to understand what the political process is and what that process is, even in terms of interviews and being on live TV and those kinds of things. There were so many alleged leaks and other kinds of things that went on, but we'll get into that as we get into the show. We've got some exciting people calling. We've got attorney Jerome Barney, who's well known in the Detroit area.
Absolutely.
And Jerome has worked on mammoth projects in terms of a lot of entertainment types of things as well. He's moving into that vein, but he's a very accomplished attorney. We also have attorney Kerry Jackson, who's on Saturdays with Vonda Evans, with Judge Vonda. He's her co-host. He's going to be calling in. And then we have our own in-house journalist, Bankalay Thompson. And so he's going to be calling in and weighing in today, just as we talk about some of these things and try to get a well-rounded perspective on what's been going on and what is the temperature, what is the climate, what are people feeling. I still say that I am just disappointed at what I have to look at as a choice.
Absolutely.
For a presidential candidate. We have one situation where, we have someone who I think is out of touch with the reality of the everyday working American. And we have conversations before the show where we talk about this. And I don't think it has a lot to do with racism. I think it's classism. When you have so much money, you are unattached to the everyday problems that everyday Americans, working Americans, white, black, Hispanic, that live in this community or in this country, you are unattached to what their real problems are. Does that make you a racist? No, it does not. But it does make you unattached to what those problems are.
Yeah, and just kind of far off, like not involved. It's like far away from our reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they live in a separate
reality.
Yeah, these people don't interact with the world the way the rest of us do.
No, they do not. So, they don't understand the consumer complaints and consumer reports that we have as consumers against the cable companies and the telephone companies or the scrutinization that insurance companies place on people, white or black, who move in the city of Detroit because of Detroit's reputation.
Absolutely.
They don't get that. They don't even know what their insurance bill looks like.
All they know is they're fully covered. They expect to have no problems and no issues when they go to the hospital.
I knew a young woman in Hong Kong while I was going to school. Her father was so wealthy that when she grew up, she didn't realize that the driver did not come with the car.
Wow. See what I'm saying?
And that was not meant to be a racist comment. She never gave it a thought. The driver came with the car because I don't know how to drive.
Right.
Yeah.
So
there are people, that, somebody, they were making a joke about the First Lady Obama. They did, not a joke like in a bad way, but when she did that parody when she was carpooling.
Yes.
And she said, it's been about a couple of years since I've been in the car. Let me get my bearings together. She said, I haven't driven a car myself in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So, I guess you would never see someone like her. I'm going to run around to Walgreens. No. Like my husband's boss, he may get out and do a couple little things. Like we went to a gas station out in Utica one day, and the people recognized my husband. And they said, hey, they was like, man, this is so cool. They was like, earlier this year, Eminem came in and got some gas. and we're looking like, he's really here getting some gas? Like, and so we were sitting there like he's a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he says, I know, but it's like you expect he's going to send someone to get his gas.
But see, M is the anomaly to the wealthy, too, because M in his mind is not wealthy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, Marshall has he's a different kind of person.
Yeah.
He is very, very ordinary, very, very comfortable. He is not, to him, a luxury car might be something that you or I would drive. Not you're never going to see him in a Ferrari.
Right.
You're never going to see him in a Lambo. That's not who he is.
Nice.
But we are talking about people that are on a uber level of wealth. We're not talking about a multimillionaire now. We're talking about billionaires.
Yes.
Gold faucet, gold tub, gold toilet seat. That's what
Which
we're
is just
talking
all
about.
ridiculous.
Which is all ridiculous. But we're just saying that there are people with that kind of money
Mm-hmm.
that just, what our problems are, this is not a problem to them. They don't even know it's a problem to somebody else.
Right.
Because they don't get a gas bill. They don't get a water bill.
Right.
Like I said, if they get sick, they're going to get top-notch surgeons are going to be flown in across the country.
Right.
When you and I go to the emergency room, they want to look at our Blue Cross card, and they're going to run it before they even service us, even if we are bleeding from the head or mouth.
Yes, correct.
So
that's correct.
We are talking about people that deal in a different world than ours.
Clearly.
And it doesn't necessarily make them a racist. It's unfair to call them a racist when maybe they're more of a classist or an elitist. They don't operate on the same planet that we operate on.
And I don't see how people can mix that up and label them a racist.
Because it's easy. That's the easy way. That's the easy way to do it. That's the easy way to do it. To say it's racism, that's easy. That's not really dissecting, what the real problem is and what the real issue is. To me, that's racism and pulling the black card. Those are easy ways to get around things. Those are easy excuses, and those are easy ways to get around things, and it's not always accurate.
Right.
And what we need to deal with is accuracy here. And the other part of this is that when you look at Hillary Clinton, and as I've said before, again, let me throw the disclaimer, this is my opinion. I'm not that excited about Hillary. What has she said about racial equality? What has she said about, she's in the same boat that he's in. What has she said about racial equality? What has she said about police brutality? What has she said about Black Lives Matter? Has she weighed in? Has she spoke in on it? Just because she goes to a black church and puts in her black cadence and black language inflection when she talks to black folks, because she does talk differently when she comes to talk to y'all, she's talking differently. She's cracking jokes about the hot sauce in a bag and all of that, but tell me what's going to be different about my life as an African American or a minority. How about the Hispanic folks? What's going to be different? What are you going to do for me? And that's what, when we look at who we go to the polls, when we take our souls to the polls and we vote, we need to say, what are they going to do for me? And if they're not going to do anything for you, I suggest that you reconsider checking the box or hitting the lever or whatever it is that you're going to do. But until they tell us what they're going to do for us, that's a problem. And none of them are talking about what they're going to do. No one has said, I'm going to do this for you.
Well, I think for one, neither one, Trump nor Clinton, you said, is she saying anything like Black Lives Matter? Neither is Trump. All lives matter, yes. However, the slogan, it's almost like they want to run from that because they want to say that that's a terrorist group now.
Now that's malarkey.
Well, I know that, but neither one of them are reaching out there to that. At least Trump is saying he has some ideas Now, don't believe people that I'm on his wagon. But
okay, now it's a political season, but at least he has enough sense to say something.
Yeah, he's saying something.
Because in 3 weeks, Hillary has said nothing.
True.
Hillary said nothing.
Well, it's looking like it's sliding into Trump all day long. So
and I don't know if it's sliding anywhere. I just know that, I don't know if it's sliding anywhere, but I do know that it just it appears that people need to take a deeper look, and they need to vote not their conscience, but they need to vote to their advantage. So right now I'm going to take advantage of the fact that it is 5:13, and we're about to go to break. You're listening to Superstation 910 AM. It is Detroit's most powerful voice in the urban community, and we will be right back.
Hey, we get it. You don't always have time to watch TV.
Maybe you're just a big fan of napping.
Maybe you're getting your cat a manicure.
This is why we're hosting Crazy Talk. Every day we'll show you the most insane moments from reality TV.
And then we'll make fun of them.
In front of a live audience.
Sometimes with the person who lived through it in the studio with us.
Shut up.
What?
Crazy Talk, TV's wildest moments, from Cray to Z.
Weekdays at 5 p.m. on WADL Detroit. WADL Detroit has entertainment for everyone.
And where'd you get these cute little outfits?
It looks like Dumb and Dumber.
More like Rick James and Little Richard after a fight, and nobody won. That's a good one, Chloe. That's a good one.
That's all right. Just kick a man while he's down. Just kick him.
I don't care if you're up or down. I just want to kick you.
Visit WADLDetroit.com for complete show listings.
Big Hollywood, big stars, big movies, big TV shows.
Oh, my God.
Celebrity Page TV. New, exciting entertainment news right here. I'm Sonia Isabel. We take you around the world to give you the latest celebrity stories, plus behind-the-scenes access to your favorite stars and shows.
Exciting and interesting and fascinating.
Less talk, more Hollywood news right to the point. Celebrity Page TV, your entertainment news source.
At 8:30 a.m. on WADL Detroit. 910 AM Superstation, giving you exactly what you need by any means necessary.
All right, proud to hear you on the radio. I see you got Daz on there again.
Hey, Dad, you supposed to be calling in about the topic, not you. You having a personal conversation on the radio. You supposed to call about the topic. You supposed to say this.
Boy, hey, watch your mouth. My name is Daddy. Remember that.
Hey, don't go through my boxes at the house either.
What?
Them boxes, man. Stop going through my personal stuff. That stuff got my name on the box. You gonna put some respect on my stuff too.
I had a detour at your house. I'm sorry.
Nah, hey, cut him off. You cut him off? Good. Yeah, that's right. You might got some power at home, but we got the power of the studio. And you gonna call up in here, disrespect me. You gonna put some respect on my name.
He talking good now, but when he get home, it's gonna be on.
Yeah, you're right. He might be at my house when I get back to you. Knowing him.
Yeah.
910 AM Superstation has the best, the brightest, and the bravest voices in the urban community. Don't believe me? Just listen. WADL TV 38 Detroit. It's your one-stop shop for all the programs you love. If you want it, we've got it. The classics, the fan favorites, and all the movies you can handle. If you want it all in one place, look no further than WADL Detroit TV 38.
And we are back. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation. It's Detroit's most powerful voice in the urban community. I want to remind you of just a few things that we have going on. We've got tons of calls, and we're going to get to those. And I do believe that we have Attorney Kerry Jackson on the line. I'll get with him in just a second. But I do want to remind you that on September the 11th, we will be broadcasting live from the Redford Theater, the legendary Dick Gregory. And if you stay tuned to us today, you can have the opportunity to win tickets to that. It's going to be September 11th is what I said again. You can get tickets at the Beauty Cafe, Mix Factory 1 Studio, and my favorite place, Sweet Potato Sensations.
Nice.
You can get tickets from there. And also, what we'd also like to do is give you a chance to win some gift certificates from Beans and Cornbread. It's the heart of soul and Southern cooking. So if you chime into our conversation today, those are the things we've got going on. And we're going to be live at the Labor Day Parade on tomorrow. So we'll be down in Jefferson in front of the VA Memorial Building down on Jefferson. We want you to join us there. On the line, we have our own Carrie Johnson, who is the co-host with Judge Vonda Evans, and we have our own Carrie Jackson, I'm sorry, and we have our own in-house journalist extraordinaire, Mr. Vankalay Thompson. Hey, guys, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
I'm doing good.
Okay, great. Thank you, Vankalay. I know you've got some activities with your son today, and we don't want to hold you up, but I definitely want a dual perspective on the Trump visit. And I've got Carrie, who's traveling to Chicago, so we've got two very, very busy gentlemen on the line here. But Carrie, let me just start with Carrie, and I'll let Vankalay come behind. Carrie, what was your perception? Because I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show or whatnot, but what was your perception on Trump's visit to Detroit? My comment starting out was that if he had whoever's been handling him for the last couple of weeks, they probably needed to be on board from the very beginning, because I think you would have seen a different kind of Donald Trump. It would have been the same, but I think the presentation would have been different. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree with you 1,000,000%. And I've said this over and over again it's not just for the last 2 weeks, but for at least the last month. He has learned to be on script. He has acted more like a candidate who's running for office. He's tried his best not to say the wrong things. And I'm going to tell you, the other night in Arizona, while I did come back from Mexico, he lost his mind and said a whole bunch of Donald Trump stuff in front of the group in Arizona. But other than that, he pretty much been on script. He's been calm. He's been somebody that you would be able to regularly argue that people is a pretty level-headed individual. The visit to Detroit yesterday, and I got to tell you, apparently I misspoke yesterday while I was on the air when I said he came to our city first. So apparently I found out last night that he did go to Philadelphia the other night and that he met with the folks in Philadelphia, but he did not go to an actual church. He met with a group of African-American Republicans while he was in Philadelphia, but he came to Detroit. From a Donald Trump standpoint, it was a perfect day. He got everything that you could possibly have asked for. He had the opportunity to go to a church, surrounded by a lot of folks while he was inside the church. I know everybody has lost their mind because it was a select sort of an exclusive sort of audience. But, pretty much if you run into office, that's what you're going to get. And this is not the first time a candidate went to a room that was a controlled audience, and it won't be the last one. He got a great audience at the end and nobody, I got to tell you, even Hillary and her visit to Kosovo, she didn't get out the car and go out and drive around and get out there and meet with regular people without having any sort of an actual display or anything like that. So it from a standpoint where if you were the actual candidate, you got to say it was a win-win-win for him because everything that he wanted, he got. For the last few weeks, Democrats yelled and screamed, "Oh my God!"
Bankalay is laughing. Bankalay is laughing. So Bankalay.
I'm doing this basically to push Bankalay so he can lose his mind. The truth is, he got everything he could have hoped for.
Okay, hold on a minute, Carrie, hold your thought. Bankalay, this is what I want to ask you, because I know you've been very outspoken, and you always are, and you always take it from a journalistic perspective. I think a lot of people feel that Bishop Wayne T. Jackson did the right thing, even though they knew he was going to get a bad rap, by allowing the candidate to come to his facility.
Right.
But I think that Carrie is right in saying that Donald Trump got everything he wanted, but was it to the betterment or the detriment of Bishop Wayne T. Jackson?
Well, let me say this, Dodi, and I like the way you preface the question. I think what at this point we need to. It's not Bishop Wayne T. Jackson. It's not so much the issue. And I just watched him on CNN just a few minutes ago, like literally 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago on CNN, where he said that Donald Trump visited his church yesterday. Trump was believable. He was compassionate. I mean, he gave him like a resounding. He said he got a great welcome, and he basically said the way Trump spoke, he was believable and he was compassionate, and you went to name it. And then when Frederica Whitfield from CNN, the CNN anchor, asked Bishop Wayne T. Jackson, well, what specifically did he say? In his own words, Bishop Jackson said he did not give me any policies. So I, and like every other journalist, we're looking forward to that interview that Bishop Jackson conducted with Trump. This is what the issue is. That, okay, Bishop Wayne T. Jackson is going to get a lot of heat. He's getting a lot of heat. He's been criticized and so forth about Trump's visit.
Do you think it's fair?
No, let me say this.
Okay.
It's fair.
Okay. I'm just asking you.
Donald Trump is no ordinary candidate. Like I've said on Facebook and Twitter, and I've written in my column, he's no ordinary candidate.
That's right.
He is the most consequential candidate in recent history. I have never seen a candidate in recent American history where the KKK, white supremacists, you name it, Holocaust deniers, Nazi folks coming out saying that his candidacy presents a rare opportunity. So when you as a minister would go the extra mile of inviting the candidate to your church, I think you have to do it in a way that allows people to question him. So my issue with Trump coming to Bishop Wayne T. Jackson's church is this. I wrote a column saying the bishop needs to open the church. But the way Wayne T. Jackson presented it to the public, it's like he was trying to have it both ways. He just said on CNN this afternoon that it was Trump that reached out, that said he wants to come to his church. Well, when Wayne T. Jackson announced that Trump was coming to the church, he said to the media that he sent out an invite 2 months ago, and that Trump was the first to respond instead of Hillary. So he went back and forth, and he basically said that Trump was going to come, he was going to interview Trump. Now, let me say this. Bishop Wayne T. Jackson, and he's not a journalist, so I'll give that to him. But there's a gray line between being a broadcaster, especially when you present yourself as a broadcaster vis-a-vis a journalist. When the New York Times came out and broke the story about the 12 questions he sent ahead to prep Trump. Now, let me say this. You know, in the media business, or when you're interviewing people, fair enough, they normally like to ask you, well, what are you going to talk about? So I'll tell you, well, guess what? I'll ask questions around incarceration. I might ask you questions around public safety. I'll ask you questions around the economy. But I will not write specifically the question itself that I will ask. I'll give an idea of where I'm coming from. So you can do your roundabout research. So when the New York Times broke the story about the 12 questions that Wayne T. Jackson sent out to Trump, he came out and did a moonwalk. He said, well, I have some confidential questions I'm going to ask. I'm not going to ask that question. And then he said this on the eve of Trump's visit, that he has a final say on anyone who speaks to his congregation, that Trump was not speaking, was not going to address his congregation. He was going to come and stay for the service or attend service and then do his interview. But guess what? The Trump campaign said, no, the candidate will address the congregation. What we saw yesterday was Trump speaking before the members of Great Faith International Ministry. So my issue with, the issue with Bishop Wayne T. Jackson is that if that's how you wanted to roll it out, just say that.
Okay.
Don't come back and forth, because in the public space, what I have to go with as a journalist is what you said. And if I count everything you've said in the last 2 weeks, you've contradicted yourself so many times.
Okay, so and that was passionate. Carrie, you're still there, right?
I'm still here, but
okay.
One thing that I've been blown away by for the last few days, everybody acts like they never ever seen a campaign event.
Absolutely.
And everybody acts as if, oh my God, Wayne T. Jackson violated all the rules. No, he didn't. Wayne T. Jackson.
No, Kerry, no.
Uh-oh.
Ding, 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 ding. No, Kerry, let's not go there. Bishop Wayne T. Jackson is a minister of the gospel. He's an ordained minister. He's not a political operative. So we expect those from the clergy, yes, and to have a higher level in terms of what they speak out publicly. That's the reason why people in the community are raising questions. If Bishop Wayne T. Jackson was just any kind of political opportunity, it's okay, that's the game, that's how they play. But when a man is coming to your church, come on, I mean, what you put out there has to be consistent. That's all I'm saying. He didn't tell us when he announced that Trump was coming to his church. He never told us he sent 12 questions until the New York Times broke the story.
But think about it. Here's the thing. If Wayne T. had asked any of us to regularly run campaigns for the last 20 years, we might have given him a totally different spin. I should have done it, but guess what? Impact Network is his network. That church is his church. He had an opportunity to do the interview, and he gave from a political person's point of view. It was a terrific event. And there are a lot of people that are griping and saying, oh, my God, he should have did this, he should have did that. He did what from anybody that's a Republican and anybody that's pushing their candidate, he did a terrific service by way of opening up his church and giving and we all know it was a photo opportunity. But he gave a huge photo opportunity.
Y'all are bad.
The trip to
I don't think the bishop would like Thursday.
He gave a great photo opportunity to the candidate.
Okay, gentlemen. Bankalay. Now, Bankalay, now you know when the host come back to the mic, you know. Come on, Bank. Now you my boy now. Now, gentlemen.
Bankalay knows I'll see him.
No. Okay, let's behave, guys. Listen. So here's what's going to happen. Bankalay, I need you for at least a few more minutes. We're going to need to go to break, but I want you all to think about this. And this is the question I want you all to think about while we're on the break. And Phil's going to ask you some questions, and so is Titi when we come back. This is the question. I know of three pastors in this community who absolutely unequivocally would not have handled that interview. I'm going to tell you who they are. They are Bishop Andrew Merritt. It is Bishop P.A. Brooks and Dr. James Mormon. I know that because they don't allow politicians in their pulpit. But what I want you to think about is that I've heard so many people that are preachers weigh in on this, and I am willing to bet both of you that if they had been provided with the opportunity to have the sensational Donald Trump at their church, they would have said yes, and they would have used it to say, I brought Donald Trump to talk to me and my people. With that being said, you're listening to 910 AM Superstation. It is Detroit's most powerful voice in the urban community, and we'll be right back with Kerry Jackson and Bankalay Thompson. Hang on.
5:30 the time right now. I'm Andre Ash with a look at weather and traffic at this hour. Currently, it is mostly sunny and 77 degrees in the city of Detroit. Off to the roads, no accidents or major slowdowns to report on this Sunday afternoon. This weather and traffic report is brought to you by Weather Vision and the Total Traffic Network. We're back in a moment. You're listening to Gurl Bye right here on Superstation 910 AM.
Don't miss the legendary comedian, activist, and author, Mr. Dick Gregory. Sunday, September 11th, live at the Redford Theater, 17360 Laza Row in Detroit. Showtime 6 p.m. Hosted by 910 AM Superstation host comedian Mike Bonner. Free lighted secured parking. Tickets available online at redfordtheater.com or eventbrite.com. For VIP and group tickets, call 313-444-2660. The legendary Dick Gregory. Tickets on sale now. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Ceasefire Youth Initiative.
It's her most important day. She needs it to be perfect. So why is everything going wrong? It's no wonder these ladies are called Bridezillas.
How dare you!
Watch their weddings become slow-motion train wrecks.
My day! This is about me!
You won't believe it. Bridezillas.
Weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on WADL Detroit.
Hey, this is Ralph Godby, and I want to take the time to talk about the Word Network's Crown Chair. So many people have shown an interest in the Crown Chair. Our CEO and a founder has made it available to you. All you have to do is call 855-730-WORD, and we'll tell you how you can pick it up, or either we'll ship it to you. Get it for your home, your office, even your pastor's study at church. Call 855-730-WORD. That's 855-730-9673. The Word Network's Crown Chair. Get yours today.
If drama is what you want, Law and Order Criminal Intent is what you need.
Who would do something like this?
I don't know. But I can promise you this. Whoever did do this, we're gonna get him.
Law and Order CI does it all. Investigations, interrogations, and dissects the actions and motives of some of the most heartless criminals in New York City. It's Law and Order Criminal Intent, and it's airing on WADL Detroit, weekdays at 8 and 9 p.m. When you think of power, aggression, boldness, and in-your-face honesty, there's only one station that comes to mind. And that's 910 AM Superstation. We're the hottest station in town. Why? Because when it happens, we talk about it.
The dumbed-down Americans who talk about socialism. We don't even have democracy. We have oligarchy. So if you tell me you don't like socialism, then get back your Social Security check. Get back your ADC. Get back your welfare. Stay off the freeways.
When there's corruption, we talk about it.
Do not take your racist views to another level where you think you're going to do harm or disrespect. Then I'm going to meet you head on. That's how I teach my children. And if more black people thought like that, these racists would just go away. The Bible says rebuke Satan.
Yeah, he'll flee you for a season.
910 AM Superstation has the best, the brightest, and the bravest voices in the urban community. Don't believe me? Just listen.
And we're back. It's 910 AM Superstation. It's Radio Our Way. It's Detroit's most powerful voice in the urban community. Want to remind you that tomorrow we're going to be on Jefferson, next to Cobo, in front of the Veterans Building down there for the Labor Day Parade. So that'll be tons of fun. We want you to also keep listening throughout the week. Listen to Ralph Godby and Cliff Russell, Karen Dumas, and you could win a family 4-pack to the Universal Circus. It's coming to town. Yeah, it's always a bunch of fun.
Yes.
Is the midget still in the show?
Yes, he is.
He traumatized me the last time.
Yes,
I went.
he
I
is.
could not deal with the midget. He jumped up on the side of the chair and tried to twerk.
Oh,
the midget.
Yeah, he got like 3-4 girlfriends.
And I said, I said, I have young children here, sir. I have young children here. You're going to have to stop.
They was like, what's wrong with it?
What's wrong with him? A lot.
Yeah.
Pay no attention to the little
But
man.
anyway, we're getting a ton of callers, and I want to get back to I left Bankalay and Kerry Jackson with a thought before we went to the break regarding Donald Trump's recent visit to Detroit. And Phil, did you have something you wanted to weigh in on? Phil Folks is our resident. You know, it's Gurl Bye the guy. He's the guy.
That's me.
And he's running for prosecutor up in Lapeer. So he's been a staple in our show for over 3 months, and he is a very insightful. He gives us another dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. My first comment is let's remember that we have a separation of church and state. So as we're putting on the double standard for the appropriate format for interviewing a political candidate, remember that we do have that separation. So then my question to both of you is, isn't Donald Trump in that no-win situation? I mean, had he not come to Detroit to address the at least the perception that the man is racist, then he would have been doomed. And because he's come, now we're upset because, in fact, he has come.
Person who he visited.
Yeah, we're upset in the format and the way the questions were asked. So how do we reconcile that? I mean, what is it you really did want the man to do?
You reconcile it by understanding that some people are never going to be happy, and you got to do what you got to do when you're running. And for the last 2.5, 3 weeks, Democrats have hollered and screamed and said they basically have treated the black vote as if they own it, and nobody else has the right to talk to us. And oh my God, if we talk to a Republican, we're Uncle Toms and we deserve to be burned. And so,
did you say burn?
The first time that he said, he's talking to the African Americans, CNN, which everybody knows is the Clinton News Network, posted and said Hillary Clinton is upset and outraged that Donald Trump has the nerve to talk to the African American community. She can be upset and outraged because we already know the history of what she said about super predators and what her husband has done to separate black men from their families during a point in time when he was in office. So they can be upset and outraged if they want. The rest of us that are walking, talking, thinking, and voting African Americans don't really care about her opinion. Now, he had an opportunity to come, and I'm very, very happy. As I said yesterday, there's a lot of other cities he could have gone to. He chose Detroit, and I'm happy that he chose Detroit. He came here, and I have no idea what they actually expected to occur. Did they think that he was somehow going to get up there and maybe go to Cuzzos and hug people and act like he was black? Wait a minute. That's what the other candidate did. No, he got there. He made a very elegant speech that fit the occasion. The bishop put the shawl over him. They hugged him. He hugged and kissed babies. From a political standpoint.
Now, some of those babies did not look comfortable, Carrie. Now, they got some of those babies with the whole back. They was holding way back. Now, I was listening to you, but some of them babies were not comfortable, darling.
Guess what? They babies. Nobody really asked babies' opinions before they get kissed by a candidate. They are babies. So it happened. But again, from a political standpoint, it was a great event.
Vankalay, is it that bad for Bishop Jackson? Do you think that he's totally wrong? Do you not think that he did this in some spirit of trying to do what was right? I'm just asking you a question.
And I don't know what Bishop Wayne T. Jackson's third is. I've never met him. I only met him once a long time ago when I was editor of the Chronicle, and I'm only going by what is in the public record and what he said in the public record and what he came out and tried to defend. Let me say a couple of things quickly. And I understand what Kerry is saying. I mean, he's right on the Democratic Party's side. I've criticized Hillary. I've written 2 columns in the last 2 weeks. I mean, criticizing Hillary Clinton. So I'm not either in the Democratic camp or the Republican camp. But here's my problem. I think, Trump has said a lot about the African-American community. He has said a lot about communities of color. He has said a lot about oppressed communities. And what the opportunity that was missed yesterday was for the voters themselves to do the cross-examination of Trump. Trump said yesterday at Great Faith Ministries that he came to listen. But if you come to listen, then you should listen to people talk to you and tell you what they want. That wasn't an opportunity. There was no opportunity for that. He spoke for 7 minutes, and then he was presented with the Jewish prayer called the Talit. And online, if you go right now, the Jewish news was writing about that and expressing outrage about why a white male will be presented with a Jewish prayer cloth that is only reserved.
Well, stop. No, Bankley. No. See, the press, y'all, has traveled into the urban community and has been here for the last 4 years, heavily marketed to African Americans as a prayer shawl before Bishop Jackson.
Okay, let me say this.
Okay.
Right now, Al Haaretz, a leading Israeli newspaper, just wrote a column about that, raising questions about why this will be presented to a white male, because that prayer cloth is normally reserved for Jewish, for people, Jewish males and people that are considered to be of high esteem and that have done a lot for the Jewish community. So we can debate Trump's record in the Jewish community. We can debate Trump's attraction to anti-Semites, Holocaust denial. That's a whole different conversation. But let me speak quickly to the Wayne T. Jackson Bishop Donald Trump program yesterday. So here was the deal. Trump has said a lot about the African-American community, about black people. I mean, his record of discrimination. I mean, all of that stuff in the 70s. And the opportunity that was missed yesterday was the fact that the people themselves that he wants to support him were not given an opportunity to question him. I have no problem with Trump visiting any church. If Bishop Wayne T. Jackson's right to invite him, he is the leader of the church. He can invite anyone he wants to. The question becomes, when you invite a presidential candidate or somebody, a major political leader of that type, I mean, you're gonna have people that are gonna criticize you. They're gonna ask you that you should open this up, and that's my contention here. That program should have been opened up. And here's what also makes me really, in fact, now thinking twice. He told CNN, Bishop Jackson told Frederica Whitfield just a half hour ago on CNN that when she asked him, so, okay, let's take a look at Trump said. Bishop Jackson said, well, he didn't share any policies with me. You know, so we're looking forward to the interview on Impact Network to see what it's going to look like. So there are lots of questions around here, around this issue. And it's not a question of whether Trump should come to a black church. Of course Trump should visit a black church. The question is, when he's there, what will you do? Will you allow your congregation members themselves to question him? It would have been historic. And it has made for great television. It would have been a major civic education exercise. If that man was sitting in the middle of great faith ministries and the congregation members asking him pointed questions about things that he has said in the campaign and asking what his policies are, that would have made for a great civic education exercise.
I understand.
What we did not see was an event that was close to the media, to the press, and was a private interview. After the interview started to fall apart, after the 12 questions were released by the New York Times. So we're going by what is on the public record as a journalist.
I understand. Well, you know what, Carrie and Bankalay, love you guys both. You're both part of the 910 a.m. family, and I appreciate you so much for taking your time out for Gurl Bye on a Sunday. We do appreciate you so much, and both of you are very passionate. You know, I totally, Bankalay, you and I are on the same team when I say I think we have slim pickings. I'm not excited about anybody. I think that one doesn't understand what we're going through. That would be Mr. Trump. Maybe he has a better understanding after touring the city. I don't know. I wasn't there. And the other one is totally taken for granted that we're going to vote for her, which that scalds me a little bit too. So I'm going to thank both of you guys for calling in. We'll see you during the week and the weekend for you, Carrie, and I thank you so much. And have a great holiday, guys.
Anytime. Yeah, okay. Bye-bye.
So going back into this, we've got a ton of callers, which I doubt that we're going to get to. And I think we'll just go to break right now because when we come back, we've got bullhorn and all, Reverend Rideout, who was out there protesting yesterday. And coming back, we also have our this guy, the credentials, Attorney Jerome Barney, who's done so many things. He's beyond a lawyer. But Jerome Barney has done a ton of things in the community, professionally, community-wise. Brilliant, brilliant attorney. And so when we come back, we're going to have those two on the line. For our callers, we want you to try to hang in there with us. We'll try to get to you. But if nothing else, we're going to make sure that we get some beans and cornbread certificates and some Universal tickets out to you. We'll get your information on the line. Just hang in there with us. You're listening to 910 a.m. Superstation. It is Detroit's most powerful voice in the urban community. It is Radio Our Way, and we'll be right back.
910 AM is everywhere you need us to be, literally.
Certainly, this is my first time with the Woodward Dream Cruise. It is bumper to bumper out here. Kevin Adele is here. He is also a very big car guy. So did you bring any other cars out?
Yeah, I brought a 1962 Lincoln Continental convertible.
We appreciate everything you've done, Kevin, to bring the 910 back to life. Obviously, 910 is I think it's the oldest station in the state.
Yeah, it's 100 years old. I bought it from Disney about a year ago, and it's been successful. We've got 40 personalities, station's well known, and I'll probably buy a few more, maybe an FM and maybe another AM in the market. We average 26,000 people during each show.
With you being local and connected more to the community yourself, and obviously from here, and your family's from here,
it's local radio. I'm the only local radio station owner and TV station owner in the top 10 market. And in fact, this is the first interview I've ever done on 910.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I am honored.
And that's 910 AM Superstation. We're the hottest station in town. 910 AM Superstation is the voice of the people. Don't believe me? Just listen.
I listen all the time. Great radio personalities.
The new mobile site is incredible. With the visual live feed, this is a whole new level for community broadcasting. I'm also very impressed with the Bible section present both in a written and audio format. 910 AM has really stepped it up to a whole new level.
Tune in, call in, and don't forget to find us on social media.
Take a laughcation with American Dad. Fly the friendly airways.
Right here, honey.
See the sights.
What's up?
Relax and unwind.
Just gotta find my quiet place. I got ya. I'll come back to that one.
It's an all-inclusive comedy getaway.
Get a picture of these. Meow.
Take a laughcation with American Dad. Viewer discretion advised.
Weeknights at 12 midnight on WADL Detroit. Some stations report headlines, but we make the headlines.
I am a part of the hip-hop generation. Second and third, I represent the hip-hop generation. He is the hip-hop mayor, okay? Hip-hop is not all bad. Hip-hop is good as well. Let me tell you something about me, clown. Clown. Bro, you a clown. You're a clown. Don't insult me, bro. You don't know me. You a clown. How dare you try to you sound like a complete fool. Usually I got at least 2 to 5 years.
And you mean to tell me that they're not police officers out there getting love, too? Now, you need to go sit down somewhere. No, it ain't. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. You said you law enforcement, and you mean to tell me
15 or 20 times in a residential neighborhood, butt naked, running down the street, and 2 would have lifted the jail up and threw me underneath.
910 Superstation is off the chisane. I was like, wow, I can't believe I missed this actual interview, your last interview.
910 AM Superstation. We do radio our way.
And we're back. It's 910 AM Superstation. It's Radio Our Way. It's Detroit's most powerful voice in the urban community, and we are back. We've had a lively discussion.
Oh, yeah, there was ready to rumble.
Ready to rumble, but I mean, you know, all sides are valid.
Yeah,
Andre, I want you to read us what Sean P. Diddy Combs just said, which is my sentiments exactly.
All right, this is just out today, and I read this from the Daily News, New York Daily News, and the headline says, Sean Diddy Combs says Obama shortchanged the black community. He goes on to say that African Americans were shortchanged by President Obama and encouraged the community to withhold its support from Hillary Clinton until she comes for their votes.
TT.
Yeah.
Is this not what I've said all along, that she just assumes that we have no choice but her?
Yes. We talked about this briefly before the show, prior to the show, and as somebody said, yeah, one of the gentlemen was like, did they expect Trump to go to Cuzzo's and talk about hot sauce and stuff like that? Yeah, I kind of think it's like part of her maybe, and this is my opinion, part of her maybe feeling like, well, they're not going to vote for Trump because they don't like him. I know I'm going to have majority of the African-American votes because I'm the only other person.
See, I was done with Hillary when she was an hour and a half late for the NAACP dinner.
Yes.
And people were waiting there to speak to that. That is the epitome of rudeness. So I have Attorney Jerome Barney on the line, and I also have Reverend Rideout. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Only for you.
Bless all of you.
Only for you, Dodie, would I interrupt the concert with Houdini and George Clinton and
Look
Kennedy
out, P-Funk.
to get on the phone with you.
I appreciate you so much,
baby.
Attorney Barney. So let me just, as they say, let me cut to the chase.
Right.
Let me cut there. Yesterday, Donald Trump visited Great Faith Ministries, and actually the visit really was about the interview with Bishop Wayne T. Jackson. And so my thing was, and I said this to Phil Folks, who's running for prosecutor, I said it to TT, and I said it to Andre. I said, so what if nobody would have known he came? And what if he would have came in and did his interview, and nobody would have known until they aired the interview? People would have felt cheated or felt like they would have felt some kind of way, you know, as the kids say about it. Now, Reverend Rideout, you were out there, and I could clearly see you yesterday with your bullhorn, and you were out there yesterday protesting. You and David Bullock, who all I could see was the top of his little head. All I could see was the top of his little head throughout the whole thing. And it looked like it was pretty intense. Here's what I don't like, okay, about the protest. I think that you were genuine. I know that Bullock is always passionate. But I'm trying to understand why a certain person who is churchless, who call themselves a pastor just hung under the CNN. It's not a photo op. And I think that's what Bullock came back to me and said, we weren't in the camera shots because we were actually protesting. But what I don't like is the posturing when these kinds of things take place of people trying to get their 5 minutes of, oh, I'm a big activist, I'm this, I'm that. No, you're in the way of the camera shot of the people actually doing the work. And then Jerome, in terms of your perspective, I mean, what was your perspective of the fact? I felt like they were damned if they did and damned if they didn't, but I think it was a worthy effort. I'll put it to you that way. So can you guys log in?
Let me just say this.
Okay.
Let me just say this, if I may. Reverend Ryder, if you would allow me, please. I was part of the genesis of the discussion that we had with Bishop about this particular event, because Bishop is a Democrat, and he let us know up front he's a Democrat. But when we met with him last year, he said, you know, the Democrats take us for granted. I mean, over the last 7-8 years, we've been taken for granted. I think we need to at least sit down and talk with whoever the presidential nominee was going to be. Then my bishop, Bishop Ira Combs, he said, Jerome, I need you to go up to Mackinac, to the Republican Leadership Conference, and come back and give a report. So I went up to the Republican Leadership Conference, and I heard all the Republican presidential candidates, and I came back to Bishop, and I said, Bishop, the one who makes the most sense is Kasich from Ohio. And Bishop said, because he's Bishop Combs, because he's involved in the hierarchy, he said, Jerome, that may be true, but the constituency in the Republican Party is either going to be Cruz or it's going to be Trump. And he was right. So we sat down with Bishop Jackson, and Bishop Jackson says, look, I've got to make sure that our vote is elevated, that there's some value to our vote, because right now we're ignored and we're taken for granted. So this interview with whoever the presidential nominee, and it turned out to be Donald Trump, was so that we could increase the value of the black vote. We've never had – Donald Trump is the first Republican nominee, president, to come and visit a black church, presidential. Romney didn't do it. McCain didn't do it. Bush did it. He went to Perfecting Church back in 2000. But that was the only other time that a Republican came in. Now, let me just say this. And when Bush came in, he had all the big bishops in the room. I know because I was in the room. I happened to be in the room with Bishop Jackson. Bishop Jackson has a platform, Impact Christian Network, that reaches 40 million people, black people in the United States, 25 million households, 15 million households in the Caribbean and Africa.
Wow.
So he's got a real big platform. Now, when he came, when he said, look, we've got to elevate the value of the black vote. Now, how do you elevate the value of a vote that's ignored and taken for granted? You sit down and you say, hey, look, you know what? We have to let these people know that they just can't count on us until we get something from them. We got to at least know what they're going to do for us. So the whole concept of this was to bring in the Republican nominee so that we could sit down with the Republican nominee, show that we cannot be ignored and taken for granted anymore, and that to elevate the value of our vote. Because, see, all eggs in one basket has been a failed strategy over the last 40 years.
Okay.
Even during this recession.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
That was the whole thrust of what we were doing.
Reverend Rideout.
Nobody endorsed Donald Trump.
Right.
Nobody endorsed him.
Reverend Rideout, do you think
Yes.
that the protests accomplished what you wanted to accomplish, and what was the purpose? I mean, was the protest against Donald Trump, or was a protest against Bishop Jackson? Because Reverend Rideout, let me say this to you. I gave 3 examples of people I know that would never have anybody political in their pulpit, and that was P.A. Brooks, Andrew Merritt, and James Mormon. But you know and I know. You might want to add me to that list too.
Okay.
As a fourth person.
Okay. But you also know that there's a great deal of them that have been talking that had they been offered the same thing, would have loved to have been the person to say, I brought him here to talk to my people. You know that, right?
Absolutely.
You know I'm not right. Okay.
You're absolutely correct. And I know more than a lot of people think I know. I just haven't been saying anything.
Right. Absolutely.
And in fact, I knew when he was going to come before a lot of folk. The bottom line is that people can say what they want to say. They got these misconceptions, this personal ideology about they think that they know it all, think they got all the answers, and they're absolutely politically incorrect, and they're biblically incorrect. The problem is that Trump came here not just to talk to black folk, to talk to us, to ask us questions, or so we can find out who he is. We already know what Trump is all about. Let's stop lying to one another. He did not come here to figure us out. The man came here because the man needs the black American African votes. We're not talking about Hillary right now. We're talking about Trump.
Okay.
I can talk about Hillary, but let's talk about Trump. Trump came here because he desperately needs our vote.
Yes, he does.
He did not come here because he's passionate. Come on, let's be real and be clear. He did not come here because he wanted to come here. If that was the case, he wouldn't have needed to have reached out or talked to Bishop Jackson. He would have came on his own. And if he felt like he really wanted to come and be a part of the black vote or the black community, whatever community, he would have came when we had the Flint crisis. He would have paid for water. He would have did like everybody else. But now comes Johnny-come-lately because the polls are down and they are against him. He's only got 1% to 4% of African-American votes worldwide, if that. And so he's desperately drowning, and he needs our help. So what better person in the community to come to than one of our pastors who has his own network? And as the gentleman said, 40 is reaching 40 billion people. Of course, who else would I come to?
Okay.
So this was an opportune moment for him. So to answer your question, our protest did just what I wanted it to do, because before the protest, I was on CNN, MSNBC, TV One called me, everybody, and I told them the gospel truth about this man. And so the bottom line is, let's stop lying to each other.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you the gospel truth. We're coming to the end of our show, and Reverend Rideout and Jerome Barney, I love you guys so much, and I thank you both for calling. Jerome, enjoy the concert. Reverend Rideout is going to be joining us now on Thursdays from 12 to 2, so we'll be able to hear him and some of his prose and his opinions and his passion. We'll hear him at that time. But I want to say one thing as we close. If this proved nothing else, I'm glad that Mr. Trump was able to see that he needed to make the effort, and I hope that Hillary understands that she needs to make one too. Don't take anything for granted. They are taking the black vote for granted, and it does make a difference. We want you all to remember to get out and to vote. Keep your ear to the ground and keep watching the information as it comes in. I'm sure there are going to be many, many more surprises, but it's no surprise that we are at the end of our show. So for TT and Dodie and Phil Folks running for prosecutor up there in Lapeer, and Andre Ash and Chocolate Drop, we are signing off. This is 910 AM Superstation. It is Detroit's most powerful voice in the urban community. Callers, we're going to get you your tickets. Stay on the line.
Happy Labor Day.
On the next Great Lakes Ruler with Lamar Woodley.
Talking about some of the hot export topics, gossip on the Lamar Woodley Show, but we go all across the world.
Listen to Great Lakes Ruler with Lamar Woodley, Tuesdays at 12 p.m.
From the crazy, twisted, brilliant mind of Seth MacFarlane.
Who?
Creator of Family Guy and American Dad.
What else is on?
Comes the Cleveland Show 5 times a week.
To Cleveland!
And it's just what you'd expect.